Well, for more on this, I'm joined from Tehran by Iranian affairs analyst Seyed Mostafa Khoshcheshm. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. So President Hassan Rouhani said he would keep enriched uranium stocks in the country rather than sell them abroad. He also threatened to resume production of more highly enriched uranium. How will this go down with the remaining parties to the deal?
Well, there have been some wrong interpretations of Iran's today moves, some describing it as a retreat from the JCPOA, some saying that Iran would discard the nuclear deal in 2 months. That's not true. As a matter of fact, ever since the deal started, Iran has been in full compliance, and unfortunately, after the U.S. abrogated the deal, Europeans have failed to comply with their undertakings, and they have never provided Iran with their promised merits. So there was somehow some kind of equilibrium in this equation. On one side, Iran was doing everything. On the other side, it was not receiving anything from the West and from the Europeans. So there were increasing calls in the last almost 2-3 months on the government to change approach in order to give some impetus and motivation to the Europeans to change their course of action and to embark on reviving and bringing back this JCPOA to life. So Iran has taken these two measures that are serious pulses to the Europeans and shows Iran's path in the next few months. If they do not comply with their promised merits and undertakings, Iran would go for further modifications of the number of centrifuge machines, the new generation of centrifuge machines, and higher purity level of enrichment would be done by Iran one by one. But it's not going to end.
As you mentioned, I'm butting in there, but you said he gave them 60 days to meet their financial and oil commitments. Do you see that happening?
Well, for the time being, the Europeans have not shown a very clear response to this move. I don't believe that they are going to do anything antagonistic because these moves are serious pulses, but they have been some minimal moves done by Iran because on Friday, the United States ended its waivers on nuclear cooperation with Iran. It warned that it's going to sanction Russia and Oman if they, purchased Iranian enriched uranium stockpile or heavy water reserves. Therefore, Iran was the option of giving up its right of further nuclear production in these two areas, or go on enriching uranium as well as producing heavy water and stockpiling them at home. So Iran was somehow pushed to this road, and the Europeans understand it pretty well. But it doesn't mean that Iran is reluctant to go any further. Iran would certainly go, to modify the remaining obligations under the nuclear deal if the Europeans fail to do so. And this would, inflict much security and political and economic costs on the Europeans, as was somehow implied in President Rouhani's message and words today when he said that if our economy is powerful and we have enough money, then we can stop these drug traffickers in the waves of refugees that want to cross Iran's border to Europe. And we have been stopping them. We have been fighting with them. We have dedicated lives. But this needs money. If you support the U.S. move to pressure Iranian economy, Iran's weakness would not serve the benefits of Europe. So I believe now the ball is in Europeans' court, and they need to take action.
Well, we do have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for that, Seyed Mostafa Khoshcheshm. The U.S.